Picture the South China Sea, a vital maritime superhighway connecting the Indian and Pacific Oceans. Trillions in global trade, from electronics to energy, pass through these waters every year. Whoever controls this region holds immense sway over global commerce and security. But it's not just about shipping lanes. The sea is rich in oil, gas, and fish, making it a magnet for competition. The stakes are high. Disruptions here ripple across the world, affecting supply chains, energy prices, and political stability. That's why powers like the US, Japan, and Australia closely monitor the region. At the heart of the issue is the principle of freedom of navigation, the right for all nations' ships to pass freely. This rule underpins global trade and prevents any one country from dominating the seas. When challenged in the South China Sea, it raises urgent questions about the future of international order. The world is watching because what happens here shapes the rules for everyone. The South China Sea isn't just a regional issue, it's a global crossroads. The South China Sea is a patchwork of overlapping claims, but the fiercest dispute is between China and the Philippines. China's 9-line claim covers nearly the entire sea, clashing with its neighbors and international law. In 2016, an international tribunal ruled overwhelmingly for the Philippines, rejecting China's historic claims. China ignored the ruling, continuing to assert control and harass Filipino vessels, even within the Philippines' exclusive economic zone. For the Philippines, this is about sovereignty and survival, protecting its people, resources, and rights under international law. The power imbalance is stark. China's military dwarfs the Philippines, making it hard for Manila to stand alone. That's why the Philippines is deepening alliances, especially with the US and now India, to build a coalition for upholding international law. The stakes go beyond territory. They're about the rules that govern the world's oceans. This is a David versus Goliath struggle, with global implications. India once watched the South China Sea from afar, focused on its own backyard, the Indian Ocean. But as China's assertiveness grew, India's interest expanded. A large share of India's trade passes through these contested waters, making stability here vital. India's Act East policy has evolved into active engagement, driven by a vision of a free and open Indo-Pacific. Now India is moving from words to action, strengthening defense ties, selling advanced weapons like BrahMos missiles, and joining joint patrols. The recent India-Philippines naval patrol marks a turning point. India is no longer just a bystander. By sailing alongside the Philippines, India signals solidarity and a commitment to international law. This is about shaping the region's future, not just reacting to events. India is stepping up as a reliable security partner in Southeast Asia. The message is clear. India is now an active player in the geopolitics of the South China Sea. The joint patrol saw India's INS Delhi and the Philippines' BRP Antonio Luna sailing together in the South China Sea. This wasn't just a photo op. It involved real naval exercises, maneuvering drills, coordinated turns, and secure communications. These drills build trust and ensure both navies can work together seamlessly in the future. The patrol took place within the Philippines' exclusive economic zone, sending a strong message about upholding international law. It was a peaceful but firm assertion of the Philippines' rights and the principle of freedom of navigation. The operation was carefully planned to avoid provocation, focusing on professionalism and cooperation. For the sailors, it was more than a mission. It was a chance to build bridges and lay the groundwork for deeper partnership. The success of this patrol opens the door to more complex exercises and greater intelligence sharing. It's a milestone in India-Philippines relations and a new chapter in Indo-Pacific security. One day at sea, but a giant leap for regional cooperation. This joint patrol is a strategic game-changer for Asia. For the Philippines, it means more partners and less dependence on any single ally. For India, it's proof that its Indo-Pacific vision is backed by real action, not just words. India's presence in the South China Sea boosts its credibility as a security partner and regional leader. The patrol also shifts the balance of power, showing that smaller nations can band together to deter aggression. China prefers one-on-one dealings, but unilateral cooperation like India and the Philippines levels the playing field. At its core, this is about defending a rules-based order, not letting might make right. When democracies unite to uphold international law, it strengthens the norm for everyone. The message: disputes should be settled peacefully, through law, not force. To follow the South China Sea story, you need to know a few key terms. UNCLOS, the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, is the global rulebook for the oceans, defining rights and boundaries. The Exclusive Economic Zone, or EEZ, gives coastal states special rights to resources up to 200 nautical miles from their shores. But other countries can still sail and fly through these zones. Freedom of navigation is a core principle. Much of the China-Philippines conflict happens within the Philippine EEZ, where Manila's rights clash with Beijing's claims. Freedom of navigation operations, or FONOPs, are when navies sail through contested waters to assert these rights. The 9-dash line is China's sweeping claim over most of the South China Sea, rejected by international law. In 2016, a tribunal ruled the 9-dash line has no legal basis, but China still uses it to justify its actions. These terms are at the heart of the region's disputes. Understanding them is key to understanding the stakes. The India-Philippines Patrol is more than a headline. It's a sign of hope for Asia's future. It's not about confrontation, but about building partnerships rooted in democracy, respect, and international law. This cooperation shows that security in the 21st century comes from connection, not isolation. When countries work together, they amplify their voices and strengthen their rights. This sets an example for others, encouraging a web of partnerships across Asia. The principles of UNCLOS, freedom of navigation, peaceful dispute resolution, respect for sovereignty, are the roadmap. The sight of Indian and Philippine warships sailing together is a symbol of this new era. The future of Asia will be shaped by collective action, trust, and the enduring power of partnership.